conference in the University of Malaya, where we are paying very close attention to these government policies. And I'm happy to note that this conference will pay a lot of attention to what we're going to do or how we're going to interpret to the shared prosperity vision.
Now, many of us here today, if not all, still remember how Ungku introduced the Sarong Index. Yeah? This forum will need to address and answer so that at least in the Malaysian context, we understand what we mean by inequality.
Equally important for me is not so much inequality as such, but the disparity and the imbalances in the way we discuss inequality. This is definitely an important opportunity to look beyond inequality, because inequality has a mental construct. The other side of it is egalitarianism.
Should governments still maintain that hands-off, let the market rule and decide and create the utopia, when we see that there is certainly a failure in this context?
And the key question you always have to ask there, and comes out of the political economy of social policy, is where are the middle classes or the middle section of the income distribution accessing their healthcare? Because if they are opting for the private option, the chances are the public option will be very under-resourced, poor quality, and even poor people will try and avoid it if they can.
If income is a very fragile measure to predict mobility, do you have anything on assets is a better estimates on the question of mobility and socio-economic mobility for the family?
Capturing income data is hard enough. So I think we need to think about it together on how do you capture this more valuable information, maybe not resorting only to household survey data, but also looking into administrative data.
But the key point here, and it's clear that a static decomposition can tell us how much inequality and poverty will evolve over time.
Said that the most successful period in social mobility is during the NEP period. So, what other conclusions can we make or bring forward from your presentation?
On the new economic policy, I agree with what you said. I was also intrigued by the presentation yesterday from KRO on mobility, and I think that's been important. It's not something I talked about today, but it's under the surface of all these calculations, and it's certainly an issue. I guess my view is, as I said, it's largely run its course. I don't think in terms of poverty reduction, but in terms of other objectives, you could say, yeah, we still need to be much more ethnically, we need to maintain ethnic consciousness in all aspects of policy. Maybe you could argue that.
What you think are the key principles and considerations that policymakers should keep in mind when we want to try to solve the issues of development, and whether or not targeting should really be the way to go?
People do not believe the poverty rate is 0%. I do not believe it. If I'm fiscally constrained, I cannot afford, I have a job, working, wife working, no savings. I will not entitled for bantuan sara hidup, not considered poor, but I feel poor. I cannot make choices. But the data doesn't capture that. That is a subjective part of measurement of poverty that we discuss.
an end of the session. I thank you very much and I look forward to seeing you again. Thank you.